This script is designed to be a deep, emotional and practical exploration of how our relationship with money dictates our quality of life. It utilizes the core concepts from the sources, the profit trap, the compounding trap and social debt, C, to frame a narrative about reclaiming your freedom. Have you ever noticed that no matter how much you earn, the feeling of not having enough never really goes away? We are told that money is the key to freedom, but for most of us, money doesn't feel like a key. It feels like a leash. We work harder to earn more, but as the numbers grow, so does the anxiety. We find ourselves buying things we don't need to impress people we don't like, or on the flip side, we become so terrified of losing what we have that we forget to actually live. Today we are going to talk about the thin line between money as a tool and money as a master. Most people spend their entire life serving a master they didn't even realize they hired. We are going to look at the 3 psychological traps that keep the middle class stuck, and more importantly, how you can start using your money as the tool it was always meant to be. Let's start with a story. Imagine a young man who grew up in a house that was literally falling apart. His family was the joke of the neighborhood. His friends didn't want to come over because they thought his house brought bad luck. Every day was a lesson in humiliation. Fast forward 20 years. That man is now a millionaire. He's successful. He's made it. But when it's time for his daughter to go to college, he tells her one thing: pick the most expensive college in the world, not the best college, the most expensive. Why? Because he wasn't paying for an education. He was paying for a trophy. He was trying to buy a bandage for a 30-year-old wound. This is the profit trap. When we spend money to silence the version of ourselves that felt small, poor or disrespected, money is our master. We aren't buying a car because it gets us from A to B. We are buying it to tell the world, I'm not that poor kid anymore. But here's the truth. Your bank account cannot heal your childhood. If you are spending to prove your worth, you will never have enough, because the ego is a bottomless pit. Now, some of you might be thinking, that's not me. I'm frugal. I save everything. But did you know that saving too much can also be a trap? Take the story of Chris Davis, a billionaire investor. He remembers going to get a burger with his grandfather, a legendary investor who turned hundreds of thousands into $1 billion. When Chris wanted a $1 burger, his grandfather refused. He sat him down and explained that if that $1 was invested, it would be worth $1,000 in the future. To the grandfather, that wasn't a burger. It was a $1,000 loss. This is the compounding trap. It's when you become so obsessed with what your money could be in 30 years that you refuse to let it be anything today. People in this trap think they are being smart investors, but in reality, they are suffering from frugality inertia. They have the guts to earn, but not the guts to spend. If you're a millionaire, but you're still anxious about the price of a $5 haircut because it could be $400 in the future, you aren't free. You've just traded one master for another. Money is a brilliant servant, but a terrible master. Its only real purpose is to allow you to stop thinking about money. If you have it and you're still obsessing over every cent, you're still poor. You just have a higher balance. There's a third trap that hits the hardest for those who finally achieve success. Social debt. Think about Antoine Walker, an NBA star who signed a $110 million contract. Most people assume he went broke because of flashy cars. But the truth is more complex. He felt an invisible weight. He felt he owed it to his 35 friends and family members to put them on a monthly salary. He bought his mother a house with 10 bathrooms. Why? Because when you come from nothing and you finally make it, you feel a crushing guilt. You feel like you can't say no to the people who were there when you were down. But here is the danger. If you don't set boundaries, you'll end up right back where you started. Antoine Walker ended up $100 million in debt. When money is your master, it uses your loyalty to bleed you dry. You think you're being a hero, but you're actually just trapped in a social cycle that values looking rich over being stable. So how do we flip the script? How do we turn money back into a tool? Think of money like a screwdriver. If you buy a screwdriver and someone asks why, you say, I want to hang a picture of my family. You don't say, because I can afford it. The moment your reason for a purchase is simply because I can, the money has started using you. Ask yourself, would I still buy this item if absolutely no one, not my friends, not my neighbors, not social media, ever knew I bought it? If the answer is no, you're in the prove it trap. You're buying a trophy, not a tool. Before a single dollar leaves your account, give it a name. Is this memory money for a family trip? Is this safety money for the future? If you don't name your money, your trauma and your ego will name it for you. If you're stuck in the compounding trap, you need to practice spending. Start small. Buy the $5 coffee without looking at the future value calculator. Remind your brain that you are out of danger and that you aren't in the cage of poverty anymore. The ultimate goal of finance isn't to have the most trophies or the biggest social debt list. The goal is to be unknown and wealthy. When you stop trying to prove yourself to the world loses its power over your bank account. When you treat money as a tool to build memories, to buy back your time, and to provide genuine help within a set budget, you finally become the master. Take a look at your spending this week. Ask yourself, is this a tool for my life or am I serving a ghost from my past? You worked hard for your money. Now make sure your money starts working for you. If this resonated with you, hit the like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's stop being slaves to the numbers and start being masters of our lives. I'll see you in the next one.